For Book Babble number 3, I decided to do it on psychoanalytical criticism for my book, The Dollmaker by Harriet Arnault, and psychoanalytical criticism is made up of 3 parts, the id, the ego, and the superego. And one character I decided to analyze these characteristics on was Hatcher, and Hatcher is a soldier who happens to help Gertie, but is kind of torn between obeying his commanding officer and really getting Gertie the help he needs. And they first meet in the forest when Gertie is trying to stop a car to take her to town to see a doctor. And in this case, I chose that the forest symbolizes the unknown of the mind, the consciousness, that he doesn't know what's happening yet. He's following blindly into this new path. And then going into the town symbolizes going into the light, like going into seeing what is happening in the mind. And then from there, I decided to break it down into the id, ego, and superego. For id is the selfish desires of a human being, characteristics that we need to survive. And for Hatcher, his is the desire to save himself, the desire to make sure that he looks good, the desire to make sure that his captain is not mad at him, and he must battle between staying and providing help to this woman or running away. Now, the ego is where you have a battle. It's kind of the balance between the superego, which is the conscience, and the id, which is like your selfish desires. And the battle is between helping versus obeying. He wants to help Gertie because it says in the text that he even yells at her, "Shake the child by its heels to make sure that he doesn't choke to death. Pat it on the back so that it doesn't die." But there's also the point where he is obeying. He's standing as tall as a parade soldier and waiting for orders, yet he's battling between. In this case, Gertie kind of acts as the angel on his shoulder who is telling him, "Help me, while the officer stands for the devil on his other shoulder, and he has to battle between the two. And the superego is, of course, the conscious. And in between this battle, Gertie wins. The little angel that personifies his mother wins the battle because he ultimately, in the end, ends up helping her. He gives her a ride to town, and he helps her find a doctor. And it is the battle between the id, the ego, and the superego that makes up the human mind, that makes Hatcher have this decision between doing what is right and doing what is best for him. Thank you.